right, guys. So today I have a special one. My beautiful daughter, Gia, my firstborn. We have some exciting news. She has her own podcast, Casual Chaos, and also her new show coming out, Next Gen NYC, with other Bravo kids, Bravo celebrity kids, right, Gia? Is that how you say? I don't want to call you guys kids because you guys are adults, but other Bravo kids, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we've always been known as Bravo kids, but now it's definitely gonna be fun, I think, for all of us to kind of, step into our own and show the audience where we are now and how far we've come.
Or we could say Bravo, young adults, Bravo housewife, young adults. Do you like that better?
No, I think I think for now, we'll be known as Bravo kids.
Bravo kids, okay.
Well,
Along,
it's gonna be, we're gonna be known as right now we're known as Bravo Kids, but it's like anything, once this show once the once right now we're known as Bravo Kids because the audience has only seen us on Housewives, but once Next Gen NYC airs, I feel like that's when they'll really look at us as our own,
yes.
individuals and not just, Brooks Marks, Meredith Marks' son or Kim Zolciak's daughter, Teresa Giudice's daughter, Candy Burris's daughter. So I think we're all stepping into our own, which is really fun and exciting to see.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited for it. Yeah, and with other influencers, which is going to be great. Can't wait to, get to know, them, because
Yeah.
they've never been on, none of them have, on the influencers, none of them have been on TV before, correct?
No, it's other influencers and then just, I hate using the word normal, but I mean, I guess just they're not public figures at all. So there's some people on the show that are influencers, some people that, have been in the public eye for a very long time, and then some people that have never been in the public eye at all.
Were they nervous to be like when they started when you started filming with them? Could you tell that they were nervous filming?
Yeah, I think you also kind of need to get the hang of it a little bit and, not say things like, well, why are you doing this in front of a camera? The camera is
Oh yeah, yeah.
the camera's not supposed to be there and you have to just act like it's not there. So I think it's definitely an adjustment at first, but then everyone got used to it and,
Yeah, you
became
kind
very
of get used to it really quick. I remember when
yeah.
I first started, like I I felt like the cameras weren't even there.
Because
Remember? Like,
once you're really in the moment, and if you're really upset about something, or you're really having, a real conversation with your friend or somebody, you don't even think about what's around you. You're genuinely just so invested in what's going on that it's all real. So that's why whenever anyone always asks us, I feel like it's the most common question, was that really real? Yes, it was very real. All of it.
yeah, I know. I get that. I know. I think now they know. I think they know Jersey Housewives is real.
Yeah, I mean, people always ask me about it, and I'm like, do you really think, we would fake all this to our family? Like, it's not enjoyable.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, unfortunately. Um, okay, why did you want a podcast?
Honestly, I love conversating with people, hearing other people's stories. I also love telling my story for people who don't know. And I'm really excited to do more solo podcasts. I am doing a lot of guests right now, but eventually I'm going to lean into more solo podcasts and talk about topics that can really help other people, like how I coped with my parents' divorce and how I coped with my parents being incarcerated, and even just other topics like death, like my grandparents passing away, when people pass away that are very close to you, how I dealt with those things. So, just also other topics that are super relatable because, as much as, you know, that's the biggest takeaway that you want from a podcast. You want people to be able to relate to you and really um you know feel like they're having a conversation with you as they're listening to you. So that's why I also really want to talk about more relatable topics and not just have guests on that maybe the audience can't always relate to.
And yeah, I think podcasts too. You could also like learn a lot too, like
Yeah.
by listening and be like, oh,
Yeah.
you know,
I think that's another thing. I always am looking just to become more, you know, more educated on things and learn how to speak better. I think a podcast really teaches you how to really want to articulate your sentences better and articulate what you're saying in the best way. So I think it does just help you overall, challenge your mind and I think that's definitely a big takeaway as well.
who would be your dream guest?
My dream guest on my podcast would be, besides you, Khloe Kardashian.
Ah, I love that. Oh my God. Um, Khloe Kardashian. I remember we met her at Watch What Happens Live, and she was so sweet. I took a picture with her and Melania when Melania gave Andy Cohen the pony, and she was so sweet with her. Yeah, she was really nice. So
No,
Khloe, say
yeah, she
again.
seems like the best mom and besides you, but she's like one of those hands-on moms. She reminds me kind of like a helicopter mom at first. Like she's very with her kids, but in the sweetest way, like she doesn't want it any other way.
I love
But
it.
when she talks to like her but when she talks to her mom, Chris, she's very just funny with her and very blunt. And I kind of feel like that's similar to you and I.
No,
So
I love that.
she's funny.
You got to send me some clips. I want to see.
Okay.
So Chloe, if I hope you hear this, Gia would love for you to be her dream guest on her podcast, Casual Chaos. So we're putting that out in the universe. I think it's going to happen. Yeah, she was really sweet. So Gia, is podcasting what you expected or not?
Yeah, I think for the most part, I think I didn't realize how much it was going to take over. I'm so busy constantly with my podcast, just booking guests, scheduling the Instagram, making sure going back and forth to the city because I need to go into the city sometimes for the iHeart studio. I also have my at home studio. So it's definitely just a lot of planning and it really is like taking up my whole life, but it's fun. I really love sitting there with guests and hearing their stories. So that part I think I knew I was going to enjoy. I don't think I realized how much work it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Gia has a studio. You have a studio in the city, and then you have one at home. So going into the city, it's it takes it takes a few hours out of the day. Yeah.
Even filming Next Gen NYC, or even when I'm in the city for events, I go to the city at least 3 to 4 times a week, which is why I'm highly considering, moving out in the next year, just because it's a lot, just driving back and forth. And it's the driving that makes you the most tired. Going into the city and working for 2, 3 hours, completely fine. The drive in, I'm usually fine, but it's the drive home where I literally feel like I'm going to fall asleep at the road. So it's the driving in and out that really takes
A
the life
toll.
out of
So Gia, doing your own show, is that something that has always been on your radar?
me. Not really, not my own show. I figured maybe like our family would have a show before I did, but it's definitely fun. It's exciting to be around other Bravo kids plus, other New York socialites and influencers. So it's definitely fun to be around people my age and kind of migrate into a show that is more kind of migrate into a show that's more targeted towards my age group.
Yeah, no.
So I would say that is a plus, but I definitely thought that my first show would be with my family, aside from being on Housewives.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for like whoever like put this whole show together, Next Gen NYC, genius. Because yeah, there's a lot of you guys. It's you, Brooks, Riley, Ariana, you know from the housewife world, and then plus the influencers. I love it. So whoever put this concept together,
Yeah.
kudos to them.
I mean, it's definitely gonna show how quickly I would say I think it's definitely going to show how the influencer and entertainment world evolutionized over the years because this definitely was not a thing before COVID. Then COVID happened and TikTok stars became huge and then there were brand trips and events in New York City and fashion week was obviously always a thing, but now influencers are being invited to these events and it really has broadened so much. Like I have events in New York City every single night if I want to. So it really has definitely changed over the years. I think you can say that too, how the whole entertainment and influencing industry has definitely grown tremendously, even just with brand deals and everything like that.
Oh, definitely, yes. Yeah, no, I like doing that. Being an influencer, and because obviously anything that we put our name on it, like they're great products. So it's like we don't just put our name on it just to put our name on it, or if they ask us to do a brand deal with them, like we actually, it's I think it's good stuff. It really is.
Yeah, well, it's always good to evaluate the product and really see if you like it before promoting it
Well, that's
because
what yeah. I mean, I always do that. Yeah.
yeah,
Because
because
a
your
lot of
fan
people ask me that. They're like, do you just promote it just to do it? I'm like, no, actually like it. That's why I'm promoting it.
of course, because then your fans your fans could tell, when it's authentic to you.
What are you most excited about and what are you most nervous about for the show to come out, for Next Gen NYC to come out?
I don't really think I'm nervous about anything. I was really my most authentic self the whole season. And what I'm excited about is honestly just to see how the whole show is going to come together.
Yeah, I like that. Exactly. And I like that too. I can't wait to see it too. I mean, I guess nerve-wracking to see maybe
Yeah,
like
I guess
the
how
new
I'm
people might be nervous about how they're going to come off.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
like
I
for
mean,
instance, the influencers that if they would never have been on TV before, so they're probably like a little nervous.
my other cast members that have never been on TV before and honestly know nothing about this world are definitely nervous and excited at the same time. I would say what I am nervous about, I think every season you learn from yourself, even when I would watch myself on Real Housewives or when you mom would watch yourself on Real Housewives because you would be in every single season. I mean, because you would be in every single episode, the whole show was about you. So you would constantly have to hear yourself on TV. I would hear myself, I don't know, not as often as you, but I would still catch myself being cautious or not like I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I
Um
understand. I understand what you're
like
saying. Like you
you
learn from when you watch yourself on TV, you learn from it.
yes,
Like if
like
you make any mistakes, then like I'm not going to do that next season. Or
yeah, so for you you've watched yourself for 15 years, but even after 15 years, you still look at yourself and correct yourself and learn from
yes,
what you're saying. So, as much as I have learned from watching The Real Housewives and being a part of it, I'm still nervous that I'm going to see myself on Next Gen NYC and want to correct some of the things that I've said, which I most definitely will, probably 99.9%. I'm going to look at myself on TV and say, no, I'm not going to do that for next time.
But in life, like we're always growing, we're always learning. There's always lessons to be learned. So, I mean, so, even me, I'm still learning and growing and lessons that I'm like, really, God, I need another lesson. There's like always lessons to be learned. So that's just normal. But I love that you're saying that. And that's really true because we all have lessons to learn in life. I mean, even though I should have watched myself more, but I just couldn't watch myself in the beginning. But now going forward, I'm watching myself.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Sometimes you're nervous if that was cringe, but honestly, your cringe moments were your iconic moments. So,
I know that everyone loves, and I'm like, oh my God, the table flip. I know. So,
but that's not even cringe.
no,
That's
I
just like,
know well, you know what's cringe about it? It's not cringe. Yeah, I mean, because it was really real. I don't like that mean face that they show everywhere. That I don't like that. Like, because that's not who I am. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? That was just like a moment. I was upset, and they got that expression on my face, but that's not who I really am, you know?
yeah, no, but on the Next Gen NYC trailer, they showed me saying, shut the fuck up. I think I said that once the entire season, and that's when they put it in.
But that's okay. You know what? That's what
And
sells.
I
Yeah.
was like, genuinely, like, I was annoyed, but
I know. And then I watched it. I'm like, oh, that's my child. No, like, yeah, no. But hey, it's okay. It's okay. TV moments. What are some of the biggest differences between filming Housewives with your family and filming Next Gen with your peers?
well, like I said, it's more targeted towards my age group. So it's more playful, fun. It's not as serious.
Right.
Filming the Real Housewives with my family, it was real. It was family drama, things that we were really going through. And it was honestly exhausting. It was talking about the same stuff over and over again. It was so invasive into our personal life. It was honestly really irritating at points. And we had to do it because, this was your job, this was our life, this was what we had to do. And as much as fans were invested into knowing what our next steps were as a family and how they still are so invested into knowing, how we are moving forward, it is definitely still a little invasive and not enjoyable to film all the time. So at least filming this show, Next Gen NYC, it was nothing about our family. It was nothing about, my family's past or family drama that we've had on Real Housewives, because why would these people care? Why
Yeah.
would they care that, oh, my uncle and I don't get along, or my parents went through this? Like, why would they care? They don't care. So it was very just easy,
Fun.
cheerful, and fun. It was
Yeah.
just not anything like Real
Yeah, and
Housewives.
I can't wait to watch it either because it's like I want fun. I want to watch fun on TV. Like that's what I want to watch. I don't want to watch like
Like,
you
it
know.
was just stupid shit. It honestly reminded me of, Real Housewives, like season 1 and 2, when you guys would just make fun of little things and, just have fun, genuinely have fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, I guess a lot of shows start off like that and then, things get ugly. But even when Dolores came on my podcast, that episode just aired, and she said that now, because you guys have a little more free time, you're on hold. She's been watching more on Bravo, just like you. And she goes, Jersey is seriously the only franchise that I see that holds grudges the way that we do. Any other franchise, they fight, they argue about something, but then 2 seconds later, they're over it. It's Jersey, like you guys,
Well, I
it's,
mean, but Dolores says that because it's not her family. If it was her family, then she would have a different tune.
no,
So
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's
No, no,
me.
I
If
mean, I'm
I hold a
saying,
grudge, it's because it's my family, and
no, no,
anyone
I'm
else
saying
that's
in
attacking
general.
me,
I'm saying
sorry.
in general, like Jersey has always been like this, I feel.
Yeah, well, you know what? Our show, they were going like below the belt, and
Well,
like,
yeah, well, that's what kind of Dolores was saying though. Like they fight about little taboo things that aren't that serious, but obviously generate traction and create drama within their show, but they're not going below the belt and
yeah, and
doing
like,
things
yeah, her,
and doing things off camera and creating more turmoil. These franchises aren't doing that. So I think maybe that's also why Jersey got toxic so quick. But
yeah, and
I
that's
guess
why we're on pause. Yeah. So,
that's why Jersey got toxic.
yes, exactly. Do you have a favorite memory from filming? What's your favorite memory from filming Housewives in New Jersey?
One of them, probably I got the family photo,
Oh,
the
okay.
big family photo with
With
dad's whole family.
Okay. Yeah, we were
Um,
all wearing black with the denim. Yeah, and
and
that
then,
was in our great room.
and then Nonna Pepina was the only one wearing red. That
Right.
was really cute. Um, my senior year prom, because that was like a really cute scene with Nono. Um, oh, and maybe the bra shopping with you. That one's like so funny to look back on.
I love that. Oh
I
yeah.
would say those three.
And you're like, Ma. I know. I remember that. That was so funny. I know you got to send me that if you come across it. Now I bet you are if when our fans hear it, guys, send me that clip. Tag me in it because I want to see it. Because I know the fans will definitely send it to us.
You were like, there's nothing there. I was like,
That's right. I know, but it was cute. I know
so
you wanted. Oh my god, I can't believe I said that. And I know,
because everyone else in school was wearing bras, so
I
I
know,
want
and
one.
you wanted one, so we got you a padded one, right?
I don't know what we got. I wanted the padded one. I don't know if I got it.
No, we got it. We got the padded one. Yes, we did. Um, so I used to wear padded bras too, so that's okay. I know now they're big, and I want them. I wish I had them like you again. You know.
This is why we don't inflate our tits 10 times
Well, I didn't inflate
big.
my tits. I got a C cup. I was an A, and I
Yeah,
went. I should have got a
okay.
B. I should have really seriously got
Should
a
have
B.
done, yeah, you should have done a full B. Now you're like a double D.
Yeah, now I'm a D, and I don't like it. Like eventually, I might have to go small. I want to go smaller.
But can't you not do that because you're gonna have extra skin?
Well, I would have to get a reduction, and then you have that line going down from your nipple down. But I guess it fades eventually.
No,
You
but I'm
just
saying don't you have extra skin?
Well,
Because you stretch
no,
it.
I could get the implants taken out, put B's, and get a reduction. I mean, get them made smaller. They would just cut it down, from your nipple down to the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should do that.
but I don't know if I want to do that, but we'll see. Maybe we'll see, but not right
You
now.
should.
Not right now. Me and my turning the tables listeners, we love to hear how someone turned the tables in their lives. So, can you tell us where you turned the tables in your life? And tell the listeners, because I'm sure the listeners would love to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest time when I had to turn the tables was when you were away. I had to take on a big role. And then that kind of set me up for like the rest of my life in a way, though, for the good and the bad. Like, obviously, that was a hard time, but then that kind of set me up for the rest of my life to be very mature on my own, take care of myself. So, going into college, it really wasn't a culture shock or anything like that to me because I knew how to clean, I knew how to cook, I knew how to do my laundry. I was very hands on. So I would say that was probably the biggest pivotal point in my life that kind of shaped me to who I am today.
Yeah, and see, guys, I know it was a hard time because I wasn't there, but in a way, it was like a great lesson for you to learn exactly to help you in your future. So
Yeah, for
sometimes
sure.
that's what I tell people, like what we're going through at the time might be like the hardest thing and be like, oh my God, why am I going through this? But sometimes, on the other side of it, then you'll see why and be like, oh my God, I had to go through that in order to be at this point in my life.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
I truly believe that, like throughout all of it, it really but I would say you going away was really the pivotal point because I really took on a mom role, and that's like still with me today. Like if Adriana gives attitude, I'm like, who are you talking to?
I know. And then I always tell you, you're not their mommy. I know. I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
I
that'll
know. You're
Yeah,
so
but
cute.
it honestly doesn't matter. It's not even you're not their mommy either. I also have like that older sister role. So older siblings are always going to be like that. Like, you know, kind of discipline and try to give their younger siblings the best advice. So,
Yeah, I know. She is like that with Melania and Adriana. It's so cute, And I think Melania gets it now. I'm like, she is like that because she only wants the best for you, and now I think she gets it. Well, at first she didn't understand it, so
depends on the day.
yeah, I do.
You guys want to do some fan questions real quick?
Yes.
Okay. You posted earlier this morning on Turning the Tables Instagram. The first one is from Lily. It says, Gia has the best brows.
Oh,
What does she ask for and how does she get that shape?
thank you. I well, I'm on Accutane right now. So while on Accutane, you can't get waxed. So I've been threading my eyebrows now for probably the past 6 months. I always go back and forth between threading and waxing, but I feel like with threading, you can get a more precise shape. So I literally just ask them to clean up my eyebrows. I do not ask them to make my eyebrows any thinner. So if you're looking to get a more fuller brow, I would grow out your eyebrows even if they go through awkward stages and then go to the threading station and get your eyebrows threaded and just tell them to clean it up very little.
Gracie Hogan, 30 underscore, says, you look amazing. What's your weekly workout routine?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
Gia, sorry.
This is all
Yeah.
you, Gia.
Oh, I go to Pilates, a modern Pilates studio 4 times a week, and I personal train twice a week. But then I always, if I have time, I try to get like a 45-minute walk in on top of my workout every day. So, and I meal prep. Meal prep is everything. If you don't eat right, you're not going to see the results. So,
Yeah, I would say
shitty, but it's
80%
true.
of it is what you put in your mouth.
Yeah, it's shitty, but it's true. You really need to. I was down like 4 pounds before Easter weekend. And then we went out for my friend Lauren's birthday, for my boyfriend Christian's birthday. Then it was Easter. And once you're really meal prepping and training your body will bounce back. So I'm already a couple pounds down today and it's Tuesday. It's just those couple days that you're doing something different, your body will reject it and gain the weight right back. But yeah, so
And I made
yeah.
lasagna on Easter, so that really didn't help.
So, and as much as you feel like you're not eating that much, maybe like you're not indulging that much in everything, it's just because, of all the calories that are in sweets and alcohol and just carbs and everything. So, the food portion is definitely the biggest portion.
All right, next question. Liam S. Collins, and this is my favorite question. Do your best impression of your mom.
Um, okay, I guess this is the one. This could be one, but if she's watching like a scary movie or I guess it's the same thing. Like if she sees a police officer, so like this just like is like like this is just cliche of like my mom going to jail. It makes no sense because I don't know how she didn't have a panic attack, but if she sees a police officer, she'll go, and like start like choking in the car
When I'm driving. Yeah.
if she's driving, like
I do. Every time I see a cop, I freak out. I don't know why. But when I went to jail, like I was not afraid at all. Like, yeah. But when
like
I'm driving,
she does this shit, and like she'll do that too if she's watching a scary movie. She'll be like freaking out as she's watching the movie too, and then you're like standing there and you're like,
yeah, I make noises. I make a lot of noises. That's the thing. I make a lot of noises.
Lauren from Tampa wants to know how you and Christian met and what does he think of you being in the spotlight? And then also maybe him coming up with him being on your new show.
Christian and I met my senior year of high school summer going into college. We met at the Jersey Shore and we've been together pretty much ever since. I talked about it in depth when he was a guest on my podcast. He was on Next Gen NYC. I think he was definitely nervous, but he got the hang of it super quick. He honestly just wants the best for me. I think all in all, he wants me to shine and he kind of likes being behind the scenes.
Yeah, which
So,
I love that about him. I do love that about him. He doesn't want to be on TV. He doesn't. And
yeah.
he wants
He does it unless I really ask him to. You know, I was like, everyone really wants to get to know you. Can you please be my first guest on my podcast? And he was like, me? Well, why me? Like,
yeah,
well,
he
what
was
am I
so
gonna do?
nervous. He was so nervous. Yeah, he was.
That's sweet.
And then
He
I'm
was like,
I just
he was like, why would I be your first guest out of all people? Me? Like, yeah, why not? But yeah, so he's definitely likes just letting me shine and him being in the background, but he's definitely okay with it.
Well, if they want to hear the story, because you talked about it all, right? So they should go to Gia's podcast.
We'll put a link in the description.
Casual
You can
Chaos.
scroll down and click right over to that episode.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah.
Marianne77 on Instagram says, Gia, what's your advice on keeping a good relationship with your mom?
Just do whatever she asks.
No, it's not true. Just communication. No.
Yeah.
Why do you say it like that?
No, I mean, I would say the key to my mom and I's relationship, yeah, is communication. I mean, I also do whatever she says, though. I'm not, like, I would never disrespect my mom. I do whatever she asks. I listen to my mom. But, and, you know, sometimes if you don't always agree with her, you know, my mom and I definitely have our disagreements. But, you know, I guess you have to just try to articulate your points in a more conversational way.
Gia and I, we when we get into arguments, like it's like
But
either she has to be ready or I have to be right, like both of us, and we go at it for a while. But what I love, it's like at the end, either one of us say sorry to each other, and I love that.
I think, you know, one person, and it alternates, you know, sometimes my mom says sorry, sometimes I say sorry. I think you just have to also not be so stubborn or hard head and kind of just accept when you're wrong and apologize when needed. But with, you know, that's what that
I mean, and Pat, I have to say, whoever's asking that question, anytime I ask Gia for anything, she's always there for me. Like, just, or helping with Adriana, like always helping with her sisters. She's never says no. She's always steps up and does what she has to do. Like, I never have to worry about anything, especially because, like, being a single mom, like after her dad left, I was like working a lot, and Gia just did everything, like, you know, when I wasn't around. So, you know, with the help of my dad at the time, but even now, like, I'm going to California the next 3 days, and Gia, she's gonna be, you know, taking Adriana to school, picking her up, like cooking, you know, making dinner for her, you know. So, you know, I have to say, little Louie will help too, if you know, if Gia can't and if he's home. So, but you know, so she's amazing.
It was Marianne that asked that from Instagram.
Thanks, Marianne.
Carmelo, Gia, who is your favorite sister to vent to, and what's the most challenging part of being a kid from reality TV?
I would say Gabriella. Gabriella and I are super close. I'm close with all my sisters, but Gabriella and I are the closest in age, and Gabriella is very mature for her age. So we just kind of get each other. Um, the hardest thing about being a child on reality TV, I would say in general, you have to grow up faster, more quickly than other kids. And um if you deal with any comments or bullying in school, I guess you're always going to deal with people talking about you.
And then of course, the online haters that unfortunately have to
Yeah.
write bad comments that the children have to see, and that's
Yeah, you're
sad.
right. I guess that overrules honestly the bullying, or the comments in school. I think it was this one kid that constantly made comments to me throughout like elementary school and middle school, and he finally stopped in high school. But no matter what, people are going to talk. But I think the online hate comments are the worst part, I have to say.
How did you build up your skin to protect yourself from that? Because that would be at your age be I would think very difficult to hear that stuff about yourself and your family.
I don't know. I think now,
I just always kept
I
telling them
think,
ignore it.
yeah, I think in recent years it's been worse than ever. But, you know, when my parents were dealing with their stuff,
It wasn't that
I
you
think
weren't
deep down,
online. That's the thing. You weren't online when I was going through all the stuff, so you weren't really seeing it.
yeah, I was. I was on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, not that much though.
I was a freshman in high school. I had Instagram and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think when my parents were going away, deep down we knew like that this was like just clearly being blown out of proportion. Like it was more of like a devastation to our family that I think I really didn't give a shit what anybody said. Like it was so sad. It was like so devastating for everyone around that we really didn't give a shit what anybody said because we deep down knew that our family like and that our parents were such amazing people that it was just shut the hell up, and like this is actually something that's really devastating for our entire family. Like it's affecting the kids, parents, grandparents, like everyone. And then now I think it's more so just the comments are annoying. Now the comments are just so different from back then. Now it's like the people are really malicious and really want to just hurt, and it's honestly so disgusting. So now the comments are honestly more annoying than anything. Back then it was kind of like your parents are felons, that like does nothing to me. Like I feel nothing because it's just I don't ever look at my parents like that. So any of those comments that I ever receive like that, it's kind of just like it goes up in through one ear out the other. But now I think the comments are very malicious and they want to hurt you, they want to tear you down, they don't want to see you succeed. So I think that's why now it's a little it's more it's rough.
Does it affect you differently if someone goes after a member of your family versus you?
Yeah, um, yeah. I mean,
You're
for me,
protective?
yeah, I'm protective. I also just don't want my sister seeing this stuff. It's just like, well, just when are you gonna stop? It's like exhausting.
James Dollar, this is a good question. Wants to know your favorite dish that your mom makes.
I really love her Sunday sauce. I love Sunday dinner, but I would say I love diet deli with peas and ham. That's one of my favorites.
I'll make that next week. Well, no, we're dieting, so we
For
can't.
dieting.
This is Brooke. It says, Teresa, I just saw your TikTok this morning. You're taking saxophone lessons. That's amazing. Can you play something real quick? And why did you start taking a saxophone?
Well, this is what happened. Like when I started dating Louis, he heard that I played the saxophone, so he bought me one, and I thought that was so sweet. That was so thoughtful of him to buy me a saxophone, and so it's just been sitting in my house. The other day, I'm working out with Kelly, Gia, and and the song sounded like there's definitely a saxophone in it. And I said to her, "Oh my God, I love the saxophone." She's like, "You do?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I played it when I was younger in middle school." She's like, "No, you didn't." As we were saying this, I'm like, "Oh my God, I want to start taking saxophone lessons," because that's how my brain works. I go from one thing to the other like that quick. So right away, I looked at my phone and I'm like, saxophone. And I found this guy that, like, I called him. I'm like, do you teach saxophone lessons? He's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, all right, when can I get started? And that's how it worked. So that was my first lesson with him. He was amazing. So I'm going to keep continuing because, like, I don't want my saxophone to just sit in the box in my house and just collect dust. I want to actually use it and play a song for my kids and for my husband. Yeah.
I watched the video and it's not that bad. I mean, for just
Know. He said
starting,
I want to actually play a Sade song.
yeah, it's not that bad.
So I will play. I just want to get a little bit better. I will play on my podcast.
Perfect. I can't wait.
Okay.
Okay, just a couple more, guys.
Yeah.
Promise.
So follow my TikTok. Follow Gia's TikTok.
Danny from Instagram says, Gia, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself kind of having my own empire in a way. I really want to focus on opening up businesses that I have been working on and would love to open. So I am really just kind of capitalizing on creating my own brand. So we have my podcast, Casual Chaos, that just launched recently. Next Gen NYC is premiering soon. And then I have another company that I am working on and I'm super excited to launch. Not anytime soon because it's a big project, but I kind of just want to keep capitalizing and building my brand.
Love that. I love that.
Okay, last question is from Isabella in Hoboken. Gia, what songs are on your Spotify playlist?
Oh, that's fun.
Okay, I'm obsessed. I love the song Move.
So do I.
There's like one Dom Dalla song that I don't know. I'm like so bad with music. Like that's also just a little FYI. I love when people play music and I'm not control of like I love when people are in control of the aux and I'm not in control of the aux. But I love like Lena, she does my hair. I love her playlist. I love like a couple of my friends' playlists, but I'm so bad with the aux. But my favorite song is Move.
Gia, well, congratulations. Thank you for answering these questions. Congrats on your podcast. Congrats on your new show. And I was there at your guys' house setting up your mom's studio, your first day of filming. And it was I was pretty honored to be there that day, knowing it was your first day, except that one little incident that happened with the groomer that showed up. At the time.
Gosh, I know. She showed up and she pulled into the driveway and she had to like kind of it's giving her grooming truck like gives like RV style in a way, but there was like this thing on the top of the truck and I thought it was gonna fit underneath the carport and it didn't. She hit the top of the carport. I was like, shit, my mom's gonna kill me.
I was in the garage and I heard you saying, you're good, and all of a sudden crunch, and you're like, wait, never mind.
You're not good. And she was like, oh, I knew this was gonna happen. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, whatever. But yeah, then my one dog, she's getting old. I feel bad, but then me and Pat had to bring the dog into the groomer truck. So yeah, it was definitely it's always chaos. It's never just smooth. Always something, always shit being moved around. But yeah.
It's always chaos, but I've told your mom this before. There's a lot of love in your guys' house, and I witnessed that personally. I think it's awesome.
100%. It's always, casual chaos.
Casual chaos.
Casual chaos.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to Turning the Table. Gia, let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can listen to my podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your podcasts. My Instagram is _Gia Giudice, and my TikTok is Gia Giudice XX.
Yeah, her TikToks are amazing. I love her Instagram. So love you, Gia. Thank you for coming on. Guys,
More,
Make sure
Mom.
you rate, review, and subscribe. And thanks for
Yes,
tuning
listen
in
to
to Turning the Tables. Love, love, love.
I'm turning the tables. I'm turning the tables. Let's go. I know you love my style. I'm gonna make them smile. I am the one to win. Keeping them all tuned in. I'm turning the tables. I'm turning the tables.